look at Constellation Brands go. Here's a longtime Cramer fave that you might recognize as the company that imports Corona, Modelo, and Pacifico into the U.S., some of those popular brands of beer on earth. They've also got a substantial wine and spirits business featuring some of my favorites. Now, Constellation is an incredible record of outperformance because blowout numbers like they issued today. 15-cent earnings beat off a $1.75 basis, higher than expected sales, strong guidance. No wonder the stock shot up $7.43 or 3.4% today. So is this the beginning of the next leg up? Let's take a closer look with Rob Sands, CEO of Constellation Brands, learn more about the quarter and his prospects. Mr. Sands, welcome back to Mad Money.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, Rob, once
Glad to be here.
again, you were the really the only source of growth in this whole in the whole sector. And why are you continuing to be able to take share and put up big numbers?
You know, it's all about the brands, Jim. We just have the best brands in the entire industry, with brands like Corona and Modelo Especial and wine brands like The Prisoner and Meiomi. You know, we've built a portfolio of brands that today is probably a stable of the best brands in the entire beverage alcohol industry.
Okay, so Rob, last time you were on, wine was a bit weaker. This quarter, wine stabilized, but during that period, a lot of people panicked and sold the stock. Looking at your buyback, you bought a ton of stock after that happened.
Yeah, we actually bought back $1 billion worth of stock this year and returned about $1.4 billion to shareholders in both the stock buyback and the dividend. So, yeah, we took advantage of that. And, you know, we don't give quarterly guidance. We give annual guidance. Quarter-to-quarter fluctuations usually aren't particularly important in our business and represent seasonality or, you know, momentary dislocations between shipments and depletions. So it was a great year. Third quarter wasn't indicative of anything.
All right, third paragraph of your conference call, you talked about canopy growth, an investment that has already doubled. Can you explain to people what's going on with that now?
Sure. Well, we invested in Canopy Growth, which is the largest medical cannabis company in the world, headquartered in Canada. We invested in it really for strategic reasons to ultimately develop beverage brands for markets where cannabis becomes recreationally legal. But that said, even though the intent was strategic, the investment itself has been a tremendous investment. We bought approximately in the form of equity and options, 20% of the company at about $13, and I think the stock closed at around $33 today. So it's a tremendous investment, but the strategic element is the most important, Jim.
Okay, now let's talk about brands. Cinco de Mayo's coming. Cinco de Mayo's on a Saturday, Rob, and I've got to tell you, you told me that we would begin to see growth in Bar San Miguel with Victoria. So now we're selling the most is Modelo, second is Corona, third is Pacifico, and now Victoria. Where did that come from?
Hey, Victoria. You know, Victoria is a very large brand in Mexico, and therefore it's very well known to the Hispanic community, very unknown to the general market. But it's a fantastic product, and we're now seeing high double-digit growth in Victoria as well as the rest of the portfolio.
It is just kind of amazing. It just keeps happening now. How about Corona Premium, nationwide launch? What do we expect?
I think that it's going to be a fantastic launch. I think by all CPG standards, it's going to be one of the most successful launches ever. Premier's, it's a great concept. It competes in a category that's growing rapidly. And I think that it's going to be the premier product in that category, the super premium beer category, you know, light, low carb products.
Now, you use the NBA, you use the NFL, now the Ultimate Fight Club. Will I be seeing those commercials for that product during the playoffs? I'm
not sure, to tell you the honest truth.
I sure hope so, because the Sixers are going to be in the playoffs.
Well, I hope we do, but sports properties have been absolutely one of the best vehicles for our advertising, and we've got a significantly increased investment in advertising those brands all throughout this current fiscal year that we're in now. So I'm sure we'll see it in a lot of places. We are a primary beer sponsor of the Kentucky Derby, so you'll have to be looking for us there for sure.
Absolutely. Now, Rob, one last question. It always seems like there's something out of Washington that now snags your aluminum tariff. What does that mean to earnings for the next year for Constellation?
I'm happy to report that it's completely immaterial to Constellation. We don't buy a lot of aluminum in the United States in the first place, plus cans is a relatively small percentage of our business. And with what we do buy in the United States, we've got it hedged, so we don't expect it to have any impact on our business whatsoever.
All right, well, let's leave it at that. Another great quarter from Rob Sands. They bought a ton of stock. I told you to do the same. Rob Sands, Constellation Brands president and CEO of STZ Cinco de Mayo on a Saturday this year. Stay with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.